Dear friends, namaste. So, today we'll continue our discussion on the teachings of Ashtavakra. And I find it extremely fascinating because it calls upon us to constantly think about the highest truth, highest nature of knowledge, because it seems in order to have a grasp or at least a ray of light from that highest knowledge, the absolute, it is important for us to constantly dwell upon it through our actions, in our thinking, in our discrimination, and overall from every part and corner of our life. So today, Ashtavakra says, Muktim ichhasi chetat vishayan vishavatyaja kshamarjavad yato satyam piyushavad bhaja. What it means is that to be free, you have to, he suggests that we shun the experiences of the senses like poison and turn our attention to forgiveness, sincerity, kindness, simplicity, and the truth. So here, Ashtavakra declares the ideal formula of liberation. He says that liberation is not of something outside, it is the purification of our mind and dispassion. It is that state. He says, Vishayan Vishavat Tyaja. All that is sensory, comfort, lust, respect, appreciation, and all the attractions of the world outside, they may appear to be very attractive in the beginning, but at the end of the life, what he declares is they will in fact turn and become sour in experience, and they start giving us the suffering. Isn't that the way of life it has been so far in the way we conduct ourselves? Look at the situation in Nepal. Whether it's in the field of politics, whether you are a politician, whether you are a bureaucrat, whether you are serving elsewhere, or you have a job, or you command, a lot of people are working under you, no matter where it is. But if our primary motive is to acquire and satisfy the desires of the senses, at the end of the day, we feel lost. We feel that those sweet grapes have turned into sour, just like the story of a jackal or a fox and the grapes, right? You might have read of that story. Therefore, he says that in the beginning, we love those things. We feel that they are the ones which are going to give us that eternal love, eternal, uh, liberation that we are seeking for. But that's not how it's going to be. Just like the way an intelligent person would remain away from poison, anything that destroys him, Just like that, as someone who is sincerely seeking to understand this world and find a way of becoming an actor in this world and use all the instruments, all the capabilities and possibilities that the God has endowed in him, put in him, to the best use, and to find himself and the eternal relation that exists between him and the world. Should, that's a long sentence, should consider those sensory attractions as poison and remain away from all of those things. We should try that. And then he says that it is not only through dispassion that a common man like us will achieve that liberation, but liberation can only come if we combine our dispassion, mukti, our, tyag, yes, liberation comes not only through tyaga, dispassion, sacrifice, but also at the same time we have to develop and inculcate in our hearts the nectar-like attributes of which are forgiveness, simplicity, kshama, arjava, daya, compassion, contentment, dosha, and satya, truth. With those gunas, with those attributes, our sacrifice becomes meaningful. Sometimes we might think we are making a sacrifice, but in turn it is actually to achieve something which is contradicting to your eternal aspirations to find liberation, right? Like politicians, or like you might be a boss somewhere and you make some sacrifice in order to get more of the sukha or bhoga or samman, respect or appreciation. So that's not the way. It's going to act in a contradicting manner. So therefore, to conclude what Ashtavakra says through this beautiful line is that liberation does not happen through the outside instrument, through a situation outside, through the change and transformation of the outside, but it is an inner transformation, and it happens through dispassion combined with the development of the good qualities that are mentioned, the sadgunas. And through that, we become a patra worthy of liberation. Forget about liberation. First, it is important for us to develop in us the qualities that prepare us towards liberation. Thank you very much. Muktim ichhasi chetat vishayan vishavatyaja kshamarjavad yataush satyam piyushavad bhaja. This is what he says.